Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram today, and we are going to look at the second one-day international between England and New Zealand. That was very important for both the teams. For England it was very important to keep the series alive, which they failed, and New Zealand went on to a big victory against England, thus boosting their morale in the eve of the ICC Champions Trophy 2013. Now what New Zealand did is they went off to a very big win, in the sense that it was a pretty big win. Because New Zealand amassed 359 for 3 of their 50 overs, and then bowled out the Englishmen for 273. Now as far as New Zealand were concerned, New Zealand were the ones who won the toss and elected to bat. The 359 for 3 was set up by Martin Guptill once again. He was the man of the match, and what he did is he became the New Zealander to have the highest individual score in a one-day international by making an unbeaten 189 of 155 balls with 19 fours and 2 sixes. The other day we saw that Martin Guptill, I was speaking about it, I was telling that he has been in some real poor form, and he got himself into form with that winning century, but today he carried it forward in a very big way. And in fact the record was held by Lou Vincent of New Zealand, who made 172. That was against Zimbabwe, and here Martin Guptill broke that record. Now he holds the proud record of being the highest individual scorer of runs in a one-day international for New Zealand. And Martin Guptill, well, his as far as his play was concerned, well, just I'll come to that later. In the meanwhile, I'll just talk about what really happened. In fact, Luke Cronchi was the first man to go. He was clean bowled by James Anderson for 2. So Luke Cronchi continued to struggle. He has been having a tough time after coming to the New Zealand team. He has been really suffering. He has not had a good time, so he was gone for 2. And after that, New Zealand, after Luke Cronchi, everyone who came contributed. Kane Williamson contributing 55 useful runs of 63 deliveries with 3 fours. Ross Taylor making 60 of 54 balls with 3 fours and 2 sixes. The 1 6 was hit of the bowling of Tim Bresnan. The other one, I thought it was hit of the bowling of Anderson. Brendon McCullum was involved into a breezy partnership. In fact, if you see, from 241 for 3 when Ross Taylor departed, it was the 42nd over, and you can just imagine how many runs it was made. I'll just tell you, I think it was 132 runs made in a span of 52 balls. That was some, especially I would say, it was scintillating batting from the New Zealanders, and Martin Guptill in particular was absolutely superb. In fact, what he did is he was piercing the gaps, and it was an innings which was really built pretty well by Guptill, because what he used to do is he used to bide his time at the crease. I mean, he used to play, if at all the bowlers used to keep him quiet, it didn't really bother him, because he was there to unwind pretty quickly. If any loose ball came his way, that was just dispatched to the boundary for 4. There was some very good straight hitting by Martin Guptill. He's known for that. He's a very good a player who likes to hit the ball straight, and that was something which was a real sight to behold, and he was hitting it cleanly and sweetly, and also well, as you know, he played strokes all around the wicket, and it was pretty good to see. And as I said, Martin Guptill got tremendous company from Brendon McCullum towards the end, who went on slamming an unbeaten 40 of just 19 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes, and that enabled New Zealand to put up a very mountainous score on the board of 359 for 3 wickets of their 50 overs. Martin Guptill was not out 189 of 155 balls with 19 fours and 2 sixes. And what it did is, Martin Guptill, who was in poor form, now has back-to-back centuries in one-day internationals. Whether in the third one-day international he can score one more and get on to another record which has been never done by a New Zealander, having 3 centuries on the trot. See, this is what cricket can do. It's a game of stark contrast. Initially, he was struggling, he was not getting the runs, and here he comes, getting a century the other day with the winning century, and now he goes on to a record century in New Zealand cricket. So Martin Guptill, it was absolutely wonderful to see him bat 359 for 3 of the 50 overs for New Zealand. Always going to look very, very impossible for England to beat, because this would be probably the second most successful chase ever in history. I wouldn't really hazard a guess there, or probably the fifth. I wouldn't really be able to say surely. But let's have a look at the bowling figures, how the New Zealand batsmen actually pillaged runs of the English bowlers. James Anderson, 10 overs cost him 65 runs and 2 wickets. Tim Bresnan, 10 overs, 1 maiden, none for 73. Chris Woakes, 7 overs, cost him 49 runs. Dernbash was pretty costly, 10 overs leaking 87 runs. Joe Root, 3 overs, 1 for 16. And Graham Swan, the right arm offie, was hit for 61 runs and 1 wicket to his name. And as I said, 359 for 59 put up by New Zealand in the second one-day international, especially considering the fact that New Zealand were in the box seat here, because they just had to win this match to keep this, to take the series, and that's what they precisely did. England were always under pressure, and England, well, they were all out for 273. What was the feature as far as England was concerned was Jonathan Trott going on to make a very good century. He made a workmanlike century. He was not out on 109 of 104 balls with 5 fours and 1 6. But again, it was in a losing cause. Probably, if England could have got some support, if there was nobody, if you look at the card there, there was nobody who could really, give the much needed support that Jonathan Trott needed. If at all England wanted to make a really fist of it and really run New Zealand so close, there was no one really to really give him that support which was lacking. Alistair Cook, well, he contributed 34 of 31 balls with 5 fours. He was clean bowled by Kyle Mills. Ian Bell, he contributed 25 of 32 deliveries, 4 fours in that knock. And Joe Root, in fact, they were 64 for 2 at one stage. Then they consolidated through Jonathan Trott and Joe Root, who had some valuable runs there. But when Joe Root departed for 28 of 27 balls with 1 4. Butler contributing, in fact, Butler was out for 2. Morgan contributing 21 of 23 balls with 2 fours. Butler was out for 2. Chris Woakes made 13 runs of 15 balls. Bresnan ran out for a duck. Swan was out for 1. And then Anderson briefly resisted as far as the I thought it was the 9th wicket pair, which really, that is something. They got some quick runs there, because I reckon it was some 47 runs added in a span of 4 overs by Jonathan Trott and Anderson. Anderson taking the lion's share, because he added 28 there. Well, as I said, it was always going to be difficult, and then Dernbash was the last man out for 2. Mitchell McClenaghan, return figures, very impressive figures, 8.1 overs, no maiden, 35 runs and 3 wickets. As you know, with such a score, with a Mountaineer score of 359, it's always going to be difficult for the bowlers, and for the bowler. In fact, difficult for the batsmen, but it would have been very good for the bowler, because they could try a few tricks there. And well, the New Zealand bowling was absolutely on the mark. And as I said, England, probably if they had got some support for Jonathan Trott, that would have probably tried to run New Zealand a bit close, but unfortunately that was not the case. Mitchell McClenaghan was very, very impressive. 8.1 overs, no maiden, 35 runs and 3 wickets to his name. Kyle Mills gave the breakthrough, 9 overs for 55 runs and a wicket. Bracewell got 4 fours hit in one single over. It was 3 fours hit by Anderson of Bracewell, who had figures of 8 overs, 1 maiden, 55 runs and 1 wicket. Nathan McCullum, 8 overs, 47 runs and 1 wicket for him. Franklin bowled 5 overs for 40. Elliott 2 overs, 1 for 13. Williamson 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 25. And New Zealand won the 3-match. I've already won the 3-match series 2-0. Martin Guptill of New Zealand was named man of the match. Now, as far as this particular match is concerned, what I would really talk about is that for New Zealand, everything is looking good, and I'm going to be after seeing the display that they've been doing, because if you look at the record of New Zealand, they actually beat South Africa in South Africa, and here they are beating England in the one-day series, and especially considering the fact that the Champions Trophy is just starting on 6th of June. I'm going to term New Zealand as the dark horses of this tournament for sure, because they are looking good, their batting is coming well, the bowling is coming very nice and gentle, and I think it's a very, very good outfit. I think the opposition, whoever is going to play New Zealand, is going to find it out when they play them. And the good thing for New Zealand, according to me, is that opening combination, which has been struggling in the past, just because Martin Guptill was not hitting his straps. And with Martin Guptill hitting his straps in a big way here, I thought now New Zealand team is getting strengthened, and also all the players are also playing well, like Kane Williamson, Ross Taylor, Brendon McCullum. So everybody are hitting the strap. The bowling is coming good, as I said. I thought New Zealand are looking pretty good. Now, so New Zealand, congratulations for them. They have already won the one-day series, so their rankings are improved as far as one-day standings are concerned. And other than that, well, England, well, they have just one more one-day international to go. Probably they could save some face by actually winning that one-day international. At least that would give them the motivation to go into the ICC Champions Trophy with confidence, because there's definitely going to be a meeting between England and New Zealand. England and New Zealand are in the same group as far as the ICC Champions Trophy are concerned, but I'm sure New Zealand and England would have learnt a lot of lessons. Probably they might plug in a few gaps there, plug in a few loopholes. They would have watched the videos, and I'm sure the England think tank will definitely work on that, and they will see to it that they don't commit the same mistakes that they committed in the first two one-day internationals. And also for New Zealand, for them also, they would have got a good look at the English bowling and also at the batting, and I think both the teams would be very adept at having some notes there to see where exactly what went wrong and what better they could do to put up a good performance. So I think England and New Zealand will again, as I said, now they're going to be clashing in the third one-day international, which is on 5th June, and then since they are drawn in the same group, England and New Zealand will once again clash with each other. Well, other than that, as you know, the board of control for cricket in India, Srinivasan, has given a temporary resignation. Dalmia is going to take the post right now temporarily, as you know. One thing that I would like to say here is that, as you know, the ICC Champions Trophy is going to be starting from 6th June. Your host Ram will be there to do a preview of all the 8 teams that are participating in the ICC Champions Trophy 2013. So dear friends and subscribers, keep an eye on this cricket happening show of your host Ram, and you will be able to see the previews of all the teams that are playing in the ICC Champions Trophy. I am planning to start my previews from tomorrow, so hopefully you should be seeing my previews of each and every team that plays in the ICC Champions Trophy 2013. So dear fans, friends and subscribers, on this note, I would like to end my cricket show for today, but as I said and as I promised, I'll be back with you with a preview of the teams which are going to be playing in the ICC Champions Trophy 2013. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.